And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, actually. Guten Abend if you Deutsch. Herzlich willkommen in the Does Football Stand. It's Daryl Johnson from Middlesbrough, North East of England. Welcome those who have joined. I'm having a couple of issues with my headphones, so hopefully I'll be able to hear our guest when he actually talks. So, welcome those who have tuned in. Please do apply and get your comments in the comment section and in the live chat as well. This is the Manchester United 2018 to 2019 season overview. Let me just check. Yep, the sound is fine. So, honestly, without further ado, I'm going to introduce our guest for tonight's live stream. And it is the final Manchester United stream regarding this season. It is Dan from his channel, Football Fan Fever. Yeah, right, mate. Yeah, right, mate. Thank you very much for coming on, mate. I thought it was a bit short notice, by the way, I will admit. But yeah, cheers for coming on anyway. And without further ado, let's get straight into business. So, Manchester United finished 6th, which is in the Europa League spot, and not a great season. But I think the main reason why we finished that low is because of poor management. We've had obviously Woodward, who doesn't have a clue how to run a club. Got the Glaciers, who don't know how to run a club. We got Jose Mourinho, who in the third season was as usual as a wet fart. And we got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who hasn't got much experience of managing in the Premier League. I think it's all down to management and the owners that's really cost us this season. And that's it. I mean, most of the blame will have to go to Jose Mourinho and Ed Woodward. They're the ones who have cost us this season. And I think if we didn't have Jose Mourinho in charge of this season, I think things might have been a bit different. United are currently looking into possibly getting Pochettino, although we've already got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on the permanent deal now. I think, in my opinion, with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think the board gave him the job far too early. He should have waited till the end of the season and then done an annual review. Just going to have a look at the comment section, just to use in the live chat. Let's go straight to the top. I think. Let me get his teeth in. I think the season's been a failure because I've expected. Oh no. Our expectation should be top 4, and this season's certainly been a failure since you couldn't beat Cardiff Huddersfield. To be honest, yeah, I'd say the season has probably been a failure because we haven't met the expectations. But where we expected to finish in the Champions League places with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who's got no experience and shut up. He's got practically no experience managing in the Premier League, apart from managing the Cardiff, who went down anyway. So, I mean, in my opinion, it's not been a great season. But what's your opinions, Dan?
To be honest with you, mate, it's just exactly the same thing like you've just said. It's just not been a great season for my United expectations. But I think we need to just think of the reality now in the future. And I don't think it's going to get any better really, because we've got bad owners who don't know, how to run a football club. They only know how to run a business, which is Man United obviously at the moment in time. And I'm not really excited for next season, to be honest with you, because I don't think it's not looking promising on any transfers or anything at the moment. So hopefully we can see some joy.
That you look at the challenges we'll be up against next season. Liverpool, newly crowned champions, of the Champions League, first time since 2005.
Yeah, something
And
like that.
a lot of the players that we have are just deadwood. With transfers, we'll save that till next Saturday. By the way, the show is next Saturday, not Thursday night for transfer show. That is due to the England football on the TV. So look here, Manchester United for relegation. Give over, mate. Not going to get relegated. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we did. If we get the players we want in the transfer window, do you think we could challenge for the league title, or do you think we're best off challenging for top four? Now, I would say best off challenging for top four, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did say it would be quite miraculous if we were chasing the title next season. What are your thoughts, Dan? Do you think? Oops, his mic's gone on mute. I'll wait till he's.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Wait,
I don't think
do
we've
you
got.
think? Yes,
Yeah,
I was just about to ask a question, but you know.
I don't think we've got any chance of winning the league next season. I think that's just a massive expectation that would never happen. With the players that we've got, and no offense to the manager, but I don't think he's strong enough at the moment. I think he's still in his trade.
That's interesting. I mean, people are criticising Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after recent results. I think that was mainly down to the board, though. You think they should have waited till the end of the season to give the contract?
Well, we all said, some of us said, "Oh, just getting it now because he deserves it," and yes, he did deserve it at the time. But obviously the more mature option was going to do it at the end of the season. So really now, if it did it at the end of the season, which we're on now, we'll be getting all excited because we've seen all them great results. Thinking that we're going to see that next season, but obviously it might not look that way. So yeah, it was a bad decision because obviously it went downhill when we signed him.
Yeah, I agree there. By the way, welcome David Hoyle. Put the Royals for promotion. Good luck with that. Then Matthews put 19-year-old unbelievable player, but a delict. Welcome to new camp. That's not even official yet. Thomas Mooney is a very good player. Miles better than Ashley Young. RIP to Wares. Oh yeah, by the way, on behalf of those football sign, our thoughts are with his family. Thomas, excuse me. I'd like Van Bissaka, but I wouldn't be disappointed if we got Mooney instead. I'll talk more about transfers on Saturday. Charlene love Mooney. By the way, I forgot to tell Dan beforehand that we are doing our play of the season, young play of the season, and there's a bit of an interesting one, crappiest player of the season as well. So I just thought, why not make it a bit unique? And I know who I'm giving it to. Yeah, anyway, we'll talk about that in a bit. And by the way, welcome to the Orvan podcast. Football Fan Free is actually link in the description down below. And if you want the link, by the way, if you want the link to the actual pre-stream music which I was playing, the link is in the description for that. Hey, Demetrios FIFA 18. Dimitri, thanks very much for joining the stream. It's been a long time. Thank you very much for joining in. Remember the next transfer episode will be? It is next Saturday due to the football on today. Would you like to come on my channel? Yeah, after this stream if you want. Glenn Matthews put Manchester United need to sign these players to start competing again. Jadon Sancho, Wan Bissaka, Matthias de Ligt or Harry Maguire, Tanguy and Ndombele, CDM centre mid. I think our main issue at the minute is mainly in the attack and mainly in the defence. I think midfield were quite solid. I think it's just our defence needs sorting out. And Asim's joined the stream, by the way.
Right, lads.
Okay, you just got home?
Yeah.
Looks like you've just got home, Asim.
Yeah.
Rolex watch.
Headphones are going wonky. I'm having issues with my headphones.
So what's the topic then, lad?
Right, we were just saying about Lynn Matthews, put players that we should sign, and we were just talking about who to blame. Really, I mean, we were just talking about what our thoughts were on the season as well. What are your opinions on the season? It's just Everyone just muted their mic. Why has that happened?
Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
I was just saying, what were your thoughts on the overall season, Asim?
For Manchester United or overall?
Hold on a sec.
For Man United.
I mean, it didn't start off well in pre-season as well, did it?
Why
Didn't
is
it?
it coming out of the
We got
speaker?
battered by Liverpool 4-1. Mourinho said it wasn't going to be a wow season, and I think we all knew it wasn't going to be a wow season with Mourinho in charge. We all know how his third season always goes at each and every club he's been to. It's been bad. Sixth place again. This was supposed to be, when Jose Mourinho first arrived at Manchester United, we finished sixth and we won the Europa League. That was the progression. This was the, as you call it, a rebuild, and now we're all the way back to where we started. So I feel like we've wasted 3 years, even though we've got a couple of trophies on the way. Oli came in obviously after Mourinho getting sacked after losing to Liverpool, our arch rivals, who obviously won the Champions League now. Oli came in, settled the ship for a bit, did well, and then became permanent manager, and it hasn't looked too good at the moment. So finishing sixth. To be honest with you, when Jose left, we weren't really in for top four anyway. So it was a beautiful ride that we had with Oli. It's not been a good season at all for Manchester United. For United expectations, It hasn't been.
This is the funny thing. I didn't actually tell anyone, but I did my own version of predictions. I didn't do it as a video.
Okay.
Now, I had United to finish fifth. Just because I felt that I just didn't think we'd have the quality to finish in top four. And we didn't till Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in and changed the team around.
Yeah.
And then I think the reason why we just fell apart was because I think they gave him the job too early. Quite honest with you.
I mean, but when he was on that winning streak, everyone was like, give him the job. And then obviously, when it wasn't going well after him signing the contract, 3-year contract, it hasn't gone well. And obviously, some would say that we've wasted an opportunity because Mauricio Pochettino got to the Champions League final.
And considering Spurs didn't even buy anyone.
Exactly.
But it's not good on the United side. I think our issue's been with poor management between the managers and the board. And also something did come up here. Those didn't even know this, but according to some source, I don't even know which source it is, but it was one of the apps. It's an United app I have.
All right. Yeah.
It's not. People would probably class it as a not reliable one, but it's not a bad one. Apparently, Louis van Gaal said that Ed Woodward has no understanding about football.
I absolutely agree with him.
So he's basically saying that I've got more understanding about football than he does. And all of us.
Yeah, he's spot on. I think something obviously is wrong at the hierarchy because we've had David Moyes, okay, that he was like the chosen one. It didn't work out. But it was obviously going to be hard after the greatest manager of that football's ever seen had just retired and won the title. It was going to be hard finding his successor. I feel like if we brought Jose Mourinho in straight away when Sir Alex did retire, I think then we probably would still be a decent side. But obviously we went David Moyes, didn't work out. Got him. He basically went. Was it 6 months in? 8 months?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
And then we brought in a very, very experienced manager in Van Gaal, who's coached Bayern, won the title and won the Champions League with Barcelona. Even had Mourinho as his assistant at Barcelona. But look, he even won the FA Cup. it just doesn't seem right, because how can you have all these experienced managers and they've won so much in their career? And look at Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho is considered as one of the greatest managers of all time, and even he considerably flopped at Manchester United, because wherever he goes, he actually wins a title, and he didn't win it at Manchester United. Now, for me, I think there's definitely something wrong up top, but it's down to the players as well. The wrong players we've bought, and that does go to Ed Woodward. The signing of Di Maria, Falcao didn't work out. All these big player signs. You look at Liverpool, Robertson, where did he come from? Hull. Trent came from their youth setup. Gomez, they've got him from a championship club. It's like we're going for the flair players because of our brand. We don't need to do that. We need to just play football the right way.
But we're also on the verge of signing someone from the Championship as well.
Yeah, it's about time.
Look at these stats. He's absolute trash.
No.
Anyways, let's have a look at the comment section here. There's a lot of comments coming in tonight. Sorry if I don't get... apologies if I don't get to your comments. By the way, but do feel free to put it back in again. Vince put... Glenn Matthews put, we are Manchester United. We are the 6th best team in England. Somebody please sign up Ed Woodward. And David's put, will not happen. Manchester United for most of the season will be fighting for a top 4 spot, but I cannot see United battling for the title. No, I can't either, to be truthfully honest.
I think we'll just...
Would you rather play for Pepper? Oh, you said something then just removed it. Let's have a look here. Can't type out, by the way, West Withdrawal, thanks for joining. Is this Raiola the only agent out there? Can't United deal with other agents, says Glenn Matthews. He also put, if Ed Woodward does not splash the cash and even overspend on players, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be sacked before Christmas.
Another manager failed.
He won't. Nah, I don't think he'll ever deserve to get sacked. I don't think he deserves to get sacked. I think the main reason is mainly we've got too much deadwood in the team. That's one of the issues. We are looking to sign some players. David's put play of the season. We'll get on to that in a minute. He says play of the season has to go to Luke Shaw. In my opinion, before he got injured, he was very consistent for Manchester United and making that left back position his own, and honestly has done nothing. A whole lot wrong. Done nothing wrong.
Good point.
I'm inclined to agree. I think Luke Shaw's been good this season. He hasn't been as consistent. There's been a few games that he's not played well, and that might be because of his injury. But since he came back from injury, he's not looked great. Hence why I didn't get put into the England squad.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like
anyway,
players don't get into the England squad because it gives them rest. Because I don't really support England, I support Manchester United. I only support England when it comes to the World Cup and the Euros.
And Aston Villa.
Yeah, I mean they are up. No, talking about Luke Shaw, I feel like he's only going to gradually improve because this is his first season. Proper after that injury. Like the season before, it was Ashley Young's position on the left and Valencia's on the right. Now this season, he's cemented that position as a person said in the comment. I've forgot their name. I apologize for that. But where was I going? Luke Shaw. He scored in the first game against Leicester as well. He scored the winner. So I only think he's going to get better because it's going to be his second season, full season playing, and under an attacking manager. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we will see the best out of him, hopefully. But I feel like Lindelof, it's a hard one because we've conceded so many goals, yet we're picking defenders as our player of the year. So it's just the whole team is like, even David De Gea, the best goalkeeper in the world still, he has been the most consistent player since Sir Alex has left. And even he has had up-down season this season, even though he's had the best performance for a keeper in a game, that Tottenham game, of course. Who could forget that game when he rescued us those 3 points?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Dan, are you still there?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Yep.
No, you've been quiet. What are your thoughts, David? I'm not sure if you caught what we were saying. Now, David Hoyle put player of the season has to go to Luke Shaw. In my opinion, since before he got injured, he was very consistent and making that left back position his own. Honestly, has not done anything wrong. What are your thoughts on that?
You're talking to me, yeah. Well, it's weird because I actually thought you two didn't like Luke Shaw for some reason. I thought because a lot of people on internet hate Luke.
It's interesting.
I like Luke Shaw.
How do you think he's played this season? I think with me, Luke Shaw for me, since he came back, he didn't look great, but I mean, before he was fine. He was our player of the year. So, would you give him player of the season?
It's hard, but it's a bit debatable, but probably was the right decision, probably.
Fair enough.
And I think nationality might have gone ahead of him. He's English as well. He might have, got an reason to get in it.
Mm-hmm. I've just been looking at something. I'm looking at the stats. Pogba scored the most goals for United. He's also got the most assists for United as well. Just going to have a look at the comments section as well. That's just something to take in. Just going to look at the comments section. Glenn Matthews. Oh, wow. It's for Phil Jones has the potential to be the greatest hit we've ever had at Manchester United. I can see why he's saying that. To be quite honest, I totally agree, mate. He's also put, man, I'm going to miss Herrera, never got the credit he deserved. He's also put Lukaku is a GOAT. Is he? He's no good at all. He can sod off. David put, no, Ashley Young has to be the biggest Manchester United at the moment because he's been absolute trash. Well, he's been about as good as a wet fart, and hasn't he, really? Yes. A wet fart called Phil Jones. Right. Anyways, on to the play of the seasons and stuff. So my play of the season, there's no point doing goalkeeper of the season for me because the goal of the season, as we all know, is going to be David De Gea. Been fantastic this season. Best defender of this season for me, Victor Lindelof. Now, this is saying something.
Defender as in centre backs, right? Because you've just given Luke Shaw the player of the year.
I haven't given Luke Shaw player of the year. I think Luke Shaw's been good, but I think Lindelof's he's been the most consistent at the club. He's been fantastic. He bosses the defence totally. It's like watching a football version of Alan Sugar. Literally, he makes the defence like The Apprentice, really, doesn't it? But he's a fantastic player, and he's a team leader for me.
I feel like he's the most improved player this season as well because last season he wasn't actually that good. Mourinho kept dropping him, and he was in and out of the side. So I think he's actually our most improved player as well this season.
Mm-hmm. By the way, if anyone's wondering what I'm eating Swiss Wall. That's my opinion for the defender. Midfielder's not an easy one. As Pogba's got the most goals and the most assists for United. However, Herrera has bossed the midfield, has been one of our star players.
Herrera's going to be a huge loss.
Matic has just been about as fast as a snail on roller skates. Right. And yeah, for me, I think if I was going to give a midfielder it would be probably Ander Herrera. He's been our best midfielder this season for me. Just another one who's just bossed the midfield. I'm a bit disappointed that he didn't actually get the captaincy role, which I think he deserved. And for forwards, for me, it's not an easy one. Probably Probably Marcus Rashford. For me. I know, you can agree and disagree, whatever you like, but it wasn't an easy decision, really. For me, I think Rashford, he steps up to the mark in a lot of the games. He's scored quite a lot of important goals. Not really, it wasn't really an easy one to choose for forwards. And the worst, I've got 2 winners for the worst players of the season, and they are Alexis Sanchez and Phil Jones.
I mean, Phil Jones wins it every year.
Say that again.
Phil Jones wins it every year.
Yeah, he does. He'll win it for the next 5 bloody years.
My God.
He'll win it for the next 5 years.
No.
He's hopeless.
Contract is a 4-year, 5-year contract as well. Whoever signed
him. As Mark Goldbridge says, right? As Mark Goldbridge says, it's the pink boots. You look like a tin of salmon. Right.
You bloody idiot.
Yeah. David put Lindelof is like ice, rock solid, and melt under pressure. I don't think he's really melted. I think sometimes our defense is weak, but I think he's one of those guys who can bust defenders. David put my midfielder would be McTominay. I agree. I mean, he's quite young. He's done decent. But he hasn't played that many games for us. He only plays occasionally when they actually decide to play him. I like Moussa Dembele. That's nice. Liam Martin's put worst players for United: Young and Calamity. Jones in the pink boots. Yeah, the tin of salmon himself. But yeah, who are your players of the season? We'll start with Asim.
Players of the season. How many can I pick?
Like 1 for each. 1 for defenders, 1 for midfield, 1 for forward. Don't bother with the goalkeeper because we all know what everyone's going to say.
Yeah. Defenders. I'll go Lindelof. Midfielders, I'll go. I mean, Pogba's in stat padding because half of his goals have been penalties. Correct me if I'm wrong. But
say that again, mate.
Pogba has been stat padding. Half of his goals have been penalties.
Yeah.
So
that is true.
I feel like we're gonna miss Herrera big time next season, and it will show unless we replace him. It was just stupid of him, of Ed Woodward not signing him up, but signing Jones up and Young up and Smalling up and all that. So I'm gonna say Herrera because he did run that midfield. And he was that box-to-box midfielder. He's had such a great time at Manchester United, his career-wise. I remember when he pocketed Hazard. He's done great this season. It's just a shame he was always in and out of the team and misused by all the managers, including Lou Van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. The strikers is a tough one because they've all been crap in my opinion. Towards the end. Lukaku definitely not. Sanchez definitely not. Martial has I don't. But the Lingard no as well. I think Lingard's actually been poor, really poor, and people just underestimate how bad he is because for me he just runs around like Alexis Sanchez for he's not a Manchester United player. You look at City, you look at Liverpool, you look at Tottenham. They're the teams that are smashing it out right now. Look, City and Liverpool were fighting for the title, and Liverpool and Spurs were in the Champions League final. So we need to look at how they are doing it because they're doing something right. And guarantee you, Lingard wouldn't be in their squad at all for either team. Probably Spurs because of their squad depth, but other than that, no. So why should he be at Manchester United? I'm just going to go on with Rashford. I'm actually going to agree with all your players, Daza, because Rashford has had a decent season. Obviously, he picked up that injury at Liverpool, and I feel like he hasn't had a proper rest, and that's why it's shown. But I feel like he does come when he is needed in the big games, unlike Romelu Lukaku, our 75 million striker.
who scores when he wants. Anyway, whilst I get BBC Sports up, Dan, who are your players of the season for defenders, forwards, and midfielders?
They've had one really, apart from Luke Shaw. They've all had the best of seasons. I don't really think he's a right back. It's Chris Smalling, Phil Jones, and Eric Bailly. I love Eric Bailly. I think he's a brilliant defender, but obviously his injuries have let him back again. No, that's why he's not been good enough. But yeah, Lindelof all the way for me. Midfielders, I'm gonna say and Herrera, but I wouldn't. A lot of people say about Fred, saying that he won in the flop of the season, but I don't think he had a bad season. I think the only reason why he's not up there at the moment is because he's not had a chance, as much of a chance, with when he was signed with Jose Mourinho and Ole. I don't think he had much game time. He only played there when and Herrera wasn't playing. So basically, he was getting treated as a slave, and all what he could do, what he did, and I'm expecting better and bigger things next season. And so I'm going to go over Ander Herrera. And lastly, you won't like it because I'm going to obviously go different. But I have to say, I can't say Rashford, I can't say Lingard or anything like that. I have to go for Martial because it just he scored. I think he scored more goals than Rashford, and he's one of the most calmest players ever in the Premier League. Just to score a nice, goal. Like it's just so many people panic at the final minute, but him, he's just so calm when he guts the goals. It's like Rashford, I don't know what he does recently. I've just gone off him so bad because he's getting a bad influence by Jesse Lingard, and he's I don't understand. I don't know what his role is with Rashford, to be honest with you. And next season, I would try and put Martial up front because I think Martial plays better up front. We've seen that in the first season with Van Gaal. So I say Martial.
Oh, okay. So different opinions. I think it's fair to say I won't need to ask you what your worst players of the season are. They're probably exactly the same as mine, unless you go for Ashley Young. Best match, MUFC against Tottenham Hotspurs, but best goal is Andreas Pereira. Go MUFC next season as Glyn Matthews. Can you get your comments in live chat? Right. Now, last season, second season under Jose Mourinho, we finished second, 19 points behind Manchester City. This season, we finished 32 points below them. Now, that is practically pretty much nearly twice the amount of last season. To be honest, with United, right? That's quite appalling. 5 points off the top four. We weren't far off the top four, but to be 31 points below Liverpool and 32 points below Man City, I think for me is absolutely appalling. It just shows that some of the players in this team just don't care anymore. We've got too much deadwood in the team, and we got players who just couldn't give two craps about the club. They just play for the money. If you want to play for the money, go to China. That's all I'm going to say. But it's our positioning under points wise is a lot worse than this season. I'm not sure whether to wrap the stream up soon or whatever. I mean, the funny thing was, we're going into a third season under Jose Mourinho, and I had this bad feeling. I had a very bad feeling that we would do absolutely trash this season. And that's because a lot of teams have had this third season syndrome with Jose Mourinho, and it happened to us. For it to happen to us, I think, just shocking. And I know there was players like Pogba and all them who were deliberately not playing because they wanted Jose Mourinho to go. Now, when Jose went, the players started to play a lot better. But results still didn't really go our way after time. At the start of the season, 1 win out of 3 in August. That was against Leicester. September, started the Champions League. We did quite well in the Champions League, got to the quarterfinals, getting tonked by Barcelona, which was inevitable, really. We did actually have a good one in the Champions League and the FA Cup as well. So I suppose that's something to take from this season, something positive for once. Excluding the Premier League, would you class this as? Would you class United's Champions League one as a good thing, or do you think we should have gone a lot further? That's just a question to both of you. Whoever wants to go first.
I'll take. Go on, Don, if you want to take it.
Go on, Douglas. I mean, Asim, go on, you can do it.
Make your mind up, lads.
I think it's actually been okay, to be honest with you. Getting out, beating PSG, obviously that was quite lucky because I don't think that was a handball when it went to VAR. But we've comfortably finished top of our group under Jose Mourinho in the Champions League. Obviously, he got sacked afterwards. I mean, beating PSG, we haven't been to the quarters in how long now? I think since David Moyes. David Moyes took us.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I think it has been a decent Champions League run. However, our rivals have won the Champions League, so that just shows where we are.
Yep, awful. But no, be honest with you. What are your thoughts, Don? I'll try and find out what our Champions League record is. Has it been a good one for us, or do you think we should have gone further?
I think, same with Asim, I think, yeah, we have made progress in, getting further than we normally do in the Champions League in the last couple of seasons. But yet again, we've been very lucky with our situation to get to the quarterfinal because everyone's saying, Rashford had a better game than Mbappe in Paris. But he didn't. I think Mbappe had a better game. It just because he scored a penalty. It doesn't really mean much. I'm just going to say thanks for the birthday present, Rashford, because that was my birthday, obviously. But yeah, and when we played against Juventus away, it was lucky as well to get that win. Juventus at home, we played absolutely shocking. I just think it's been a terrible Champions League. It's been fun, the parts of it, to get them good wins against Juventus and Paris. But we have been fit. Them results, it was good, but we didn't play amazing.
Yeah, that was the first time we've been in the quarterfinal since 2014.
David Moyes.
So right there under crappy Moyes. A couple of comments coming in. No idea what I'm going to do. Probably just be one of those videos just to get new subscribers. Liam's put, I think United's Champions League has been great. We've came across good teams in Barcelona and PSG. Should I add? I think we could get to the semis next season. Depends on who we get in the quarters. It's look at the draw, really. It's look at in Europa League, yeah. Oh yeah, we're in Europa League, aren't we? Well, we should win that. Well, I mean, Chelsea managed it. So the thing is, we've got competition with Arsenal. That's the thing, so it won't be easy. But the last time we actually won it, of course, was in 2008. We haven't actually been to the semis. We haven't been to the semi-finals of Champions League since 2011 when we actually got to the final. That's the last time we got to the final as well. And that was against Barcelona, and we got beat.
No, but that Barcelona team was absolutely, that's PlayStation football. That's FIFA. That was Iniesta, Xavi, all in their prime. Puyol, Messi. What a team that was.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm thinking about probably wrapping up the stream soon. So I think we've said most of it, pretty much what I was going to say anyway. Not been a great season for United. Finishing 6th, I was expecting us to finish around those areas. Haven't met our expectations. We've had 2 managers in 6 months. We've had Mourinho going out, Solskjaer coming in, doing very well, and then as soon as he gets given a managerial job, we just fall apart, and that's probably due to Red Deadwood. Deadwood players need to leave, and it's onwards and upwards next season in the Europa League, which I think might actually suit us better than the Champions League, to be honest. But finally, by the way, thanks for coming on, by the way. And just finally, final thoughts on United's full season. Start with Asim this time.
Trash, absolutely trash. Hopefully we can do better. I feel like Champions League, we weren't ready for it, even though we got to the quarters. And with this team, we should improve with players in the right position. Not just the big players. We should get players who would die for the club instead of players like Alexis Sanchez who die for money, and are here for a fat paycheck. But if we can win the Europa League like we did in the Jose Mourinho's first season, then I would call it a successful season for next season. But this season, appalling.
Yep, fair enough, mate. Don?
It's actually absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. Just a replay of the last couple of seasons. And it probably will be a replay next season because I'm not hoping anything for next season. Sorry to be so depressing and,
Fair enough. There you go. You've heard it from two lads. You've heard it from me. That's going to be it. Huge thanks to all for your support this season. That is it. Manchester United content at the minute. Next video that comes out will be the Bayern Munich season review, which no idea when that's going to go out. It's going to come out sometime this week. And of course, the transfer show is next Saturday, obviously due to the England football on Thursday. Not sure about seasons or whatever, Liam, but thanks for your support and thanks for coming on. Check out Dan's channel, links in description. I might be able to put, I'll see if I can get Asim's in the comment.
Leave it. There's nothing even on my channel at the moment.
Description.
Just leave it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I am available, Dave, so I can play there. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for coming on, and we'll see you on Does Football Stand. It's got an Abend. Good night.
Bye.
Later.